Let it be known that I named my Tamagotchi after Ben Grimm. Oddly enough, his name was Rocky. He died of dysentery. In the arms of the angel. Hi everyone! So I did a poll and you guys said that you wanted to hear my thoughts on the 2000s Fantastic Four duology. So here it is. These movies are objectively not good, but I did enjoy them. Before I get into my thoughts, I just want to say that my judgment is definitely clouded by nostalgia. These films are what got me into comics. The first comic my parents got me was a Fantastic Four comic. But my parents didn't know how comic works, so what they did was they got me a comic that has Ben as the cover because he's my favorite. And then they got a comic with Johnny as the cover because he's my sister's favorite. And then they got a comic with everyone on the cover all together. But because of that, they just picked like random issues. So it wasn't in order. So it was very hard to follow the story. But hey, it's the thought that counts, right? Anyhow, I made a numbered list of the things I liked and the things I did not like about the Fantastic Four duology. Things I liked about the films: number one, they're silly and funny. The first movie came out when I was little. The movie is campy, corny, and silly, so of course I liked the film. I was a kid. But rewatching it as an adult, I still appreciate how corny it is. I like how they acknowledge some of the silliness of these powers. And I also liked how some of the characters use their powers for mundane everyday activities like shaving, getting toilet paper, heating up food. There are also funny moments that come from the unfortunate circumstances of these powers, like Ben shattering every glass that he tries to drink out of, or Johnny accidentally setting things on fire. I think the hokiness makes it easier to stomach these films. Like, the films don't take themselves too seriously, so it's hard not to have a bit of fun. Number two, short run times. It's nice to have longer films, especially with how expensive tickets are these days. Like, you want to spend as much time in the theater as possible. But I think some people have this misconception that longer films usually mean quality films, but that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes a 1.5 hour film can achieve just as much as a 3-hour film. It's just a matter of how well you use the time. With that said, the fact that these films are short play to its favor because it never outstays its welcome. And I think some films work better with shorter runtimes, like Shrek. Like, it's so fast-paced, but that adds to the experience, and I feel the same way with this film. Like, I don't have a long attention span, so the fact that this film just, moves from scenes to scenes, it helps me and my short attention span. Number three, the characters. I think this is the thing, pun intended, that people often talk about when it comes to these films. The characters made these films. I like the casting of the Fantastic Four. They all did good jobs in their roles, even Jessica Alba, I think. And they all have great chemistry with each other. And I have to say, and I hope it's not controversial or anything, I actually think that Ben and Johnny have pretty good writing in these films. In the first film, obviously, Ben is the one driving the emotional core. Reed's drive in finding a way to reverse what happened to everyone is born out of his friendship with Ben, like the loyalty, the affection, and the guilt too. The final act breakup is also between Reed and Ben, and the reconciliation comes when, after Ben cured himself of being the thing, he returned back into being a human, but then Reed is in danger. So Ben is like, I'll turn back into this rock column so I can save my best friend. Like, I like that.
No, Vic, it's clobbering time.
I like the friendship between these two guys. I like how they're ride or die.
And I'll sign over a fair percentage of any applications.
Number 75. And its applications and patents.
What about his firstborn?
In fact, this friendship is something I wish they delved more into in Fantastic Four First Steps. But in general, I feel like in that movie, in First Steps, Ben didn't have much to do either. Maybe some of his scenes got cut, which is unfortunate because my favorite member of the Fantastic Four is Ben. Johnny, on the other hand, is naturally a very entertaining character.
Johnny.
This is Dolce.
He's the comic relief, he's the Casanova, and Chris Evans is very entertaining whenever he's playing jerks. In the first film, I like that Johnny embraces his celebrity status. around this period, I don't think there are a lot of like public superheroes being depicted in superhero movies. So it was fun to see a superhero being so media savvy. And in the second film, I like Johnny's arc of him having this dilemma that everybody seems to be moving on and he's the only one who stays in the restaurant. Like Johnny overhears Sue and Reed planning to quit the team after they deal with the Silver Surfer, and that sent Johnny on a spiral because he doesn't know if people would want to hang out with him unless they're in a team. Like, that's relatable. I get that. It's nice to see him be vulnerable and have a moment as well with Ben, where Ben comforts Johnny and tells Johnny that regardless of what happens, Johnny can still be friends with Ben. And I think that's a very sweet moment between the two of them, and it's very good for both of their characters too. Reed is interesting in that as a kid, I found him sort of stiff and I didn't really care much for him, but as I grew up, I relate to his lack of social skills and awkwardness. I didn't realize how awkward he is in these films. I don't have any big notes about the character because I think he serves his purpose in the stories. I do like that he's a little bit of this reluctant leader, but when moments require him to step up, he actually steps up, and you see why he's a good leader because of that. In terms of Sue, I don't mind her per se, and as I mentioned before, I actually don't mind Jessica Alba in that role. She did a pretty good job considering the kind of script that she got, you know? I think in the first movie, Sue was a bit better. Like, she's very balanced in the sense that you can see that she is no nonsense, but she also has this emotional intelligence. Like, she cares for the emotional well-being of her teammates. I like that she is in touch with her emotions and she is able to also stand her ground against all these men.
Let's not fight.
No, let's.
But in the second movie, I hate that they made Sue into this like, oh no, my wedding is ruined. Oh no, my life is such a circus. Can I raise my family in this situation? I get it. That is a very relatable thing to feel, and that is something that a lot of people do struggle with. But I think this is something that a lot of writers do when it comes to female characters, especially in a superhero film around that period of time, where all they can think about is like, oh no, my family, oh no, what about like the love of my life and that sort of thing. Overall, like, I get it, like we see echoes of that in Fantastic Four First Steps, but I also feel like Sue likes being a superhero. She likes protecting the world, so I don't think she would be too much like, oh no, I can't bring a family into this world because the world is dangerous. It's like, no, she makes sure that, you know, she can protect her family. I don't know, what do you guys think? Overall, I think everyone has great chemistry with each other in these films, and that really helped the films. We get to see a lot of moments between them, whether they are emotional or funny or mundane, and it allows us to buy into how they are truly a family. I also like that they mix up the characters every which way, so all characters have a chance to be paired up with somebody else who might not be within their immediate circle. So you see how different combos of the characters work and interact with each other. This is something that First Steps also does really well, I think, but this is definitely something that was missing from Fanforstic. Things I didn't like about the films. Number 1, weird character changes. These films do this thing where studios take a character and completely mold them into someone that doesn't resemble the comic versions at all. I talked about this in my Fanforstic retrospective, where it feels like most of the time studios will take like a known brand name without really understanding what the audience like about these characters. So these adaptations bear no resemblance apart from their name, and it becomes kind of weird. Like, why not invent an original character altogether? And this happens with Doom and Galactus. But I have to say, I see why they decided to fold Doom into the origin story. It's probably to create more stakes, given the fact that Doom now has more of a connection with the core team. And it's cleaner in the sense that the movie would not have to force him into the conflict because he's already there from the beginning. Ultimately, given the runtime, it was probably for the best. But Galactus is confusing because these films are silly already. I don't understand why a gigantic man that consumes planets is where they draw the line. Number 2, the plot. I think the plots to these films are pretty generic. Like I mentioned before, the chemistry of the four and the performances are definitely what carried the films. The first film gets away with the very simple plot because at least each characters have their moments to shine, so I don't mind the plot taking the back seat because I enjoy watching these characters. The second one though is rough. The plot was just all over the place and there's too many things happening. Like for example, I don't know why Doom has to be in this movie. Like I feel he could have just been cut out. The messy plot also impacted the way that they write some of these characters. Again, I'm looking mostly at Sue. I feel so bad for Jessica Alba. Like remember when they told her to cry pretty? God forbid a woman shows emotion, am I right? I like how Sue connects and bonds with the Silver Surfer, and I think between that and her relationship with Reed, that's enough things happening. But then they tossed in Sue being this woman who gets angry that her wedding isn't going as planned. Like I would imagine she has her priorities straight, you know? Number 3, the humor. The film is very much of its time. Some of the jokes do not age well. That's all I'll say about it.
Sue, your clothes, lose them.
I find there are positive and negative things about these films. However, I did enjoy my rewatch. But again, nostalgia definitely played a big part in that. It's insane when I watch these movies, like I unlocked so much core memories. I feel like Anton Ego from Ratatouille, only I had like 10 flashbacks within the span of 3 hours. Anyway, let me know what you think about these films in the comments below. Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? If you like this video, please consider engaging with it, commenting, sharing, liking it, and maybe even subscribe to the channel too. Do you like this cup too? I got it when I watched First Steps. You would know if you saw my vlog. You should look at the vlog, yeah? It lights up, but you can't see it because the light is so bright. You can see how it lights up in the vlog. I recommend watching the vlog. It's like 1 minute long. With that said, goodbye and have a good day.
In the